Well, hi there everyone and welcome to the channel. My name's Kara. Thanks so much for stopping by. I've got another meal in a jar recipe for you today, and this one is oh so delicious. I am calling this chicken and pork jambalaya. Now, jambalaya is a savory rice dish. It's got a lot of meat in it. It's got yummy seasonings, some vegetables. It's in a way kind of similar to gumbo as far as its flavor profile. But gumbo is a soup or a stew, and jambalaya is a rice dish. Now, I am going to use some pulled pork. And the reason I'm highlighting that is because I have never used pulled pork in a meal in a jar recipe before, just because Thrive Life recommends that you use it up within a couple of weeks. And I have found, this is my personal opinion, okay, you have to decide for yourself about food safety, but I have found if I have a fresh oxygen absorber that I'm comfortable leaving it on the shelf for at least a few weeks, but that's completely up to you. I'm going to be using lots of yummy spices in here, and this one's got kick, y'all. Start with a quart-sized jar if you want 3 or 4 servings. These are going to be good-sized servings. If you don't need that much food, just cut all of these ingredients in half and put this in a pint-sized jar. I've got a cup of uncooked medium grain rice. You could use long grain, just so it's not instant. Don't use that. It'll just be complete mush on you. Now I'm going to put that pulled pork in there next, and I'm going to add chicken and some sausage crumbles that I have pulsed in the blender. So I've got 3 kinds of meat in here. It's so good with a lot of meat, but you could really do any kind of combination of meat in here. If you don't want to put the chicken, just leave out the chicken, add more sausage or whatever. 1/3 cup of green bell peppers is going to go in next, and I did snap those in half just to fit more in there. I like to crush my celery, not only because you can fit more in, but also because my husband thinks he doesn't like it. And then I'm putting in some onions. I've got freeze-dried garlic and some green onions. And if you don't have those green onions, because I know Thrive isn't making those anymore, you can use the Lighthouse brand or just leave them out altogether. All right, we need Cajun seasoning, people, and I've got 3 different kinds. I've got 2 spicy Cajun seasonings. One is called Cajun Two-Step, one is that Tony's, and then some Trinity Shake. It's powdered onion, bell pepper, and celery. And then some delicious seasonings, chicken bouillon, paprika, salt and pepper. The bay leaves are going to go in. And then you can add an oxygen absorber. Like I said, make sure it's fresh, or just use it within 2 weeks if you want to abide by the Thrive Life recommendations on the can. So here's the jar that you could keep stored for a couple weeks on your pantry shelf, or you could assemble every other ingredient, leave out the pulled pork, and then just add it at the last minute. All right, you'll need a large heavy-bottomed pot. I'm using my Dutch oven here. I just love my Dutch oven. I will link to that below. And then into the pot goes about 1/4 cup of some neutral type of oil. Heat that up really good, and then add the contents of the jar. Be sure to remove your bay leaves. We'll add those later. Then in goes the contents of the jar, and you're going to toast those seasonings. That's what you're doing here. You're toasting the seasonings in that hot oil, and you're going to be coating all of those rice grains in the oil and the seasoning. And this step right here is going to make your jambalaya taste amazing, okay? But you can't go too long because that's freeze-dried ingredients and it will burn on you. So add about 1.5 cups of water, and all that's going to do really is hydrate those vegetables so they won't burn. And then you're going to saute some more, okay? So cook off that water. This is probably on about medium heat. Cook off that water, and then eventually all that water is going to evaporate, and you're going to start to develop some fond in the bottom of your pot. This is why you need a heavy bottom pot. Now, see that amount of fond there? That's great, but we want to take it further. Scrape that up, get that into your dish. I probably let this go about 5 minutes. Now that fond, that's what you're looking for. You want a good dark brown fond and a lot of it. And I took it to where I couldn't really scrape it up anymore. It was sticking really good to the bottom of my pot. That's just what I'm looking for. And we're going to bring that up when we add liquid. What you want to do at this point is add 3.5 to 4 cups of water. I like to add 4 because I like a little bit of extra sauce at the end. Then you start to stir and that fond will release off the bottom of your pot. You want to bring that up into your jambalaya. That is flavor, right? Browned bits and fond, that is flavor. And we definitely want that in our jambalaya. Now you can add those bay leaves and bring that to a boil. And then you're going to reduce the heat, cover it, and let it simmer for about 25 minutes covered on low heat, all the way down to low. Don't peek, guys, no peeking. That rice needs to steam and cook. All right, after 25 minutes, this is what it looks like. And watch out for that steam because, yeah, that'll burn you. So see how the meat has floated to the top and the vegetables too? That's just fine. You can stir it all in. All of that meat should be completely hydrated at this point. It should be nice and tender. The rice should be cooked through, of course, the vegetables as well. You can remove those bay leaves, fish those bay leaves out of there. Give it a taste. And really what you're making sure is that the pork is completely rehydrated, which it should be, and that your rice is cooked all the way through. All right, mine was perfect. I didn't add anything to it. Everything is nice and tender, and it's ready to plate up. I like to top this with some fresh scallions and a little bit of Louisiana hot sauce, just to add a little extra spice, kick it up another notch. This dish is definitely spicy, and it's supposed to be. This is a Cajun dish. It's supposed to be spicy. So if spice is not your thing, then maybe you should skip this one. But gosh, I think it's amazing. I love the pulled pork in here. When we made this back in Louisiana, my mom always put some sort of pork shoulder or something in there, and it just gives it great flavor. And the Thrive Life pulled pork is so tender and so delicious. It goes really, really well in here. All right, that right there, that's a perfect bite. I've got rice in there, some green pepper, some vegetables. All of those seasonings are amazing. I wanted to show you just what the pulled pork looks like on the interior, just in case you haven't ever opened up a can and cooked any. This is what that looks like. It's legitimately tender, fall apart pulled pork. And it just goes so well in this dish. I think jambalaya is best with a ton of meat in it. The sausage crumbles that we put in here, they almost melt all the way through the entire dish. But I love it in here. The sausage has great flavor. I think if you can fit more of it in there, fit more. It's so good. Jambalaya is definitely one of our family favorites. All right, guys, I will leave the full recipe in my description box below, as well as my shopping link in case you want to pick up any of these ingredients. I'll also include my website where you can pick up a copy of my cookbook. So I've got an ebook that's available on my website, as well as a print version of my cookbook that's available on Amazon. It's got over 90 recipes in it. And what I did was last summer, I took all of the meal in a jar recipes that I had up on my channel and I made a cookbook with those recipes. I've got it in ebook form, like I mentioned, and in print now on Amazon. And what I'll do probably this coming summer is I will do volume 2 of the cookbook, and I'll add all of the recipes that I have put up on my channel since last summer, and they'll be in volume 2. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I so appreciate you. I hope you love this recipe. Please leave me a comment below and be sure to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day, And until next time, y'all take care and keep thriving.